Everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people on whose traditional lands these videos are made. That's WORIMI. And welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Okay, entertainment only. I hope I'm getting the light right today. I do apologize. I am just out of my environment. Again, seems to be the story of my life for this 6-month period. Okay, what do I want to have a talk about? Oh, thank you for all the lovely comments about my dresser. Yes, you are in my boudoir. It was an inexpensive pine dresser. It's got 12 drawers in it, and a couple of pots of sample paint and some knobs from the hardware shop for a bit of variety and a day's worth of work. So a bit of sanding back of the drawers that I want, or the areas that I wanted to paint, sort of removing the knobs, sanding back, painting, a couple of coats, put the new knobs on and put it all back together again. Didn't it come out lovely? At about a quarter of the cost of what it would have cost to buy something ready done. So thank you for your comments, and you too can do this as well. And picture up there, pencil drawing that my daughter did of my fur babies for Christmas a couple of years ago. Absolutely love it. And if my phone goes, it's because my Corolla is having a sleepover. Had a sleepover at the mechanics last night, and I'm waiting for news in regards to, please. They found out what was wrong with it and they have fixed it. Okay, what do I want to have a look at? I'm using the Gilded Tarot, Gilded, Gilded Tarot Royale today. And I want to have a look at will enough of the US population, because what's happening at the moment, just want to explain for those that say, let's see if you get it right this time or something along those lines. The way tarot reading and spirituality is really difficult to pinpoint because, first of all, there is no calendar or clock in the universal energies. So trying to say dates and times and years and everything means absolutely nothing to the spirit world. They don't operate like that. I've occasionally tried to use solstices to see if I can narrow it down. But then the answer is, well, which year is the solstice in type thing? For example, forever ago, I had Thomas, Roberts, and Kavanagh all going by the mid-year solstice. But what year? So whatever year they go, it's going to be in the first half of the year. Timing is incredibly difficult for me. Some readers seem to manage it, but for me, it's really difficult. Love that that was Meister the other day that was making me say that word from Middle English. Yeah, that's his era. Um, he's Gaelic from that particular era. So that was that word he was absolutely pushing at me, which is no longer in use, which is why it didn't make sense at the time. Deceivousness, was that the word? Yeah, I think it was. Anyhow, so I'm just going to explain with the way timelines work. We start at point A. The destination is point B. We can either take a straight line, and that's what often readers see, is this straight line from point A to point B because it's the direct path. However, humans get in the way in the middle there, and they wander all over the place, and they make other choices as they're going. They reach divergence points, and instead of taking the path they're meant to be on, they choose to wander down this particular path. So therefore they are brought back to another divergence point where they're saying you've got to take this path, and they might choose to go down that path again. So we've got point A, point B. Readers usually see the direct path between point A and point B, but humans decide to take their own way. So we eventually get to point B because that's where we're meant to be. But the path to get there, holy crumbs. So fasten your seatbelts, clench your buttocks, make sure you go to the bathroom before you get on this roller coaster, because the next couple of months are just going to get wild. Absolutely. Before the election, I had said it was going to get absolutely wild for a couple of months. I just didn't realise how crazy. Okay, so what I want to have a look at. I did read shortly after the election about the reason why things have happened the way they have is because this is point A and point B. There is this bit in the middle where a certain element or a number or percentage of the US population has to wake up. Now, I watched Susan Lynn the other day, and she sort of said something along similar lines, in that you've got your 15% die-hard MAGAs that will never wake up. But you've also got a 40% complacency in the US populace in regards to elections, thinking that doesn't matter who I vote for, doesn't make any difference. Well, they're now starting to find out that it actually does make a difference, which, so that totals 65%. So you've got 35% of the population that are really engaged, like you, like me, even though I'm not in the US, that are really engaged in the election, the results, what government is doing for us and can do for us. Now, I read a couple of days after the election about that 40%, that a certain percentage of them have to wake up before we reach point B. Oh, hurry up. Now, one of my lovely viewers emailed me a link to a Reddit discussion that was talking about the election steal. Now, I don't know whether election will get me censored or not. I know a few readers, they don't use the E word, the steal. There was a discussion about it on Reddit. When I went to have a look, the comments seemed to be removed, and the link and the original post was locked. Now, I was looking to see who owned Reddit. So owned by Advanced Public oh gosh, can't even read my own writing. Oh, Advanced Publications. Should have been a doctor. Which was set up way back by Donald Newhouse Sr. Samuel Newhouse Sr., now owned by Donald Newhouse and Samuel Newhouse Jr., Stephen Newhouse, which is again next generation down because Donald and Samuel are in their 90s. Stephen Newhouse is the chair. There is there's a little bit of information on Donald, no information on Samuel Jr., no information on Stephen Newhouse, no information that I can find. They also own so Advanced Publications own Reddit. They also own major shareholders in multiple media holdings in print and cable television. So that was just really interesting that timeline had been removed. So it appears people are waking up. Information about the election being brought forward, and about the moral, financial, and ethical corruption that was undertaken. So I want to have a look. Aren't enough people waking up? Now, Reddit is one of those platforms. I don't read Reddit usually. I'm not on there. It's up in if I'm doing a search, it'll pop up, and I tend to avoid it because it is just a discussion page from what I understand. It's gone pretty seedy like X has from what I understand. But interestingly enough, that those that find their way onto pages such as Reddit are starting to question. So let's have a look. Will enough show messages getting out there. It's only small to start with. Now, what I got at that time when I did that first reading about a certain percentage need to wake up was that the information has to come from within their own ranks. There's no point in us who can see it as clear as day beating the same old drum. The information about the steal, the information about the lies and untruths, the information has to come from within their ranks. Oh, I love that Biden is on the bottom. And Biden, is this the manipulation or a manifestation? Biden has all these tools in his toolbox that he can use. But, okay, if I keep going on the top, we've got the hidden agenda. the information coming out about the hidden agenda, and it is volatile information. Volatile information that is going to bring about a doubt, like the truth, bringing about poise to bring about this downfall. And we've got treason, and we've got judgment, and they just keep coming off the top. And there is a decision that needs to be made about this middle sector, about what path they actually take. And I'll keep talking about these divergent points and paths. The path of light, or do they continue down into the thicket? We've got the election manipulation from overseas here. We've got, is some people going to jail? The truth coming out and really restricting this fading misogynistic power. Okay, so where do I go with this? What do I want to have a look at? Okay, I actually want to have a look at advanced publications, the Newhouse family. For some reason, they're taking me to want me to read. Show me the future of the Newhouse family. What a card to throw out. Show me the future of the Newhouse family in regards to advanced publications. Show me the future, because they seem to be quite influential behind the scenes. Now, the card that flew out, that's the signifier card, is the internal conflict card about the messaging. Internal conflict. Now, remembering that Rupert Murdoch, very recently, the Fox Empire, Murdoch tried to change the conditions of his trust to be able to leave all of it to Lachlan Murdoch. Danny Shay, are you listening? It's pronounced Lachlan. Lachlan Murdoch. It's actually a name from the UK, not Australia, but yeah. Okay, so Lachlan Murdoch. Rupert tried to change, the old walking corpse, Rupert tried to change the trust to leave it all to Lachlan, who was a far-right nutbag, even worse than his father. It was challenged by James, the other son, from the first marriage. So the trust was leaving it to the four children from the first marriage, and then he's got another 2 children from his marriage to, is it Deng? I can't remember her first name. I do apologise. It's not overly important. But the 3 other children who were named in the trust from the first marriage, James, Prudence, and Elizabeth, challenged the changes to the trust and won. So James is very progressive liberal. Elizabeth and Prudence really are not terribly active, but they were backing James. Lost. Rupert and Lachlan lost. So Fox is going to have a really interesting future when Rupert actually finally passes, which he will. Anyhow, I'm feeling in the Newhouse family something similar is happening. So come on down, let's have a look. Let's see how these cards go. Internal conflict, challenged by hidden agendas. Wow, being brought forward. Poor choices is the foundation. Choice of greed, addiction, power. So this is poor choices in the past. Packing up the truth and moving forward out of the dark into the light. So I'm feeling there's some conflict going on within this family to try and move advanced publications into calmer waters, into this new era. But they're getting some pushback. We've got the steel here as crowning, so stealing the truth. So what's happening in the new house family? This does not feel good. There's 5 swords here, 2 swords here. So they're getting some pushback in regards to stealing the truth, kissing the ring, whatever. Oh gosh, the immediate future's this devil energy, the addiction to power, the addiction to greed. I'm going to say, I don't know how many are in this next level down below Donald and Samuel Jr. I'd be interested to know whether there's 7 and 2 are pushing back. But you've got this addiction to power and greed. Externally, something unexpected coming out of left field. I didn't look to see how many there were because there's going to be a lot of headlines coming forward. These 5 that are addicted are going to find themselves on the wrong side of history because we've got the Star of Hope, the Star of Healing, the best of democracy. That is, how's the new house family going to go? Not terribly well. It's got fox vibes here. And then we've got Tower, manifestation, new leadership. Now, I'm actually feeling this is not Biden. I'm feeling this is the manifestation of new leadership of a liberal or a progressive form that is going to bring forward this new message. On the base, we've got the voter, Ten of Cups, 10 of Wands. The burden of the messaging that they're trying to flog uphill is going to bring about an ending for them. As the Chariot moves forward, and we have this Sword of Truth, they're going to reap what they have harvested. They're going to desperately try to hang on. But again, you've got this new figure bringing forth this truth. And then we've got, is that Russia or is it just the birth of something new? And birth is difficult and painful. Might be Russia. Reddit's going to find itself entrapped by the messaging it put out there because here is Harris taking her rightful place. And their mercenary actions are going to be revealed and people are going to leave. I'm seeing similar fate for advanced publications as X has. It's going to be a combination of X and Fox. People are okay. There's a lot of people who were on X have left, gone to Blue Sky. No, I'm not on Blue Sky, but I wasn't on X either. I'm barely on Facebook, and that's just for family and friends. So I just don't do social media. Haven't got enough hours in the day. Is what it really is. A lot of people are leaving X for Blue Sky. And what's happening is that it is ending up a MAGA hate-filled quagmire where all of a sudden the MAGA hate-filled contributors they're finding out they don't actually like each other, that it's not fun anymore because there's nobody to push against, there's nobody to argue with. And if I split the deck while I'm talking about this, we've got Blue Sky, where it's a coming together, it's a unity, it's a celebration of diversity. X turning into a nightmare. And look at the 2 colours, blue, red, turning into a nightmare because there's nobody to argue with anymore. There's nobody to vent their hatred towards anymore. All of a sudden they actually have to deal with themselves and they don't like it. So this is really, really interesting. So, and I'm feeling Reddit is very quickly becoming the same. So show me, will enough? Right, we've got strength, compassion, shining. Oh, look at these cards. I'm just going to put them out. And I shall bring you down. because I was asking whether what else is on the top. Well, they're finding themselves out in the cold. The moral, financial, ethical, corruption, and a new start. So my question was, will enough wake up in time? Okay, I'm just putting these cards down. Okay, I'm going to put these cards down and then I am, goodness me, okay, I'm sorry about this. Okay, I'll put them down and I'm going to show them to you in the order that they came out. So I'm just putting those ones aside and then I'll just show you these ones first up. So I said, will enough people wake up in time for the universe to make that point B action? I didn't even say why. I'm just feeling, will enough people wake up in time? So when I'm saying in time, it is in time to stop Trump getting into office. It's in before the 20th. The crucial date is before the 20th. Anything that happens before that is if the election is proven to be stolen, fraudulent, etc. Even after that, but it'll get more difficult because you've got to get him out. Will be in time. So, come on down. So I was asking, will enough people wake up in time? Strength, compassion, but also taming the beast here. So this is about the power of the feminine. A light being shone on the snake in the past, bringing about an ending of the snake in the past. So there is strength here, strength that will shine a light that will bring about a significant ending. Look at these major. The reason why I was going, wow, I was looking at the major arcana that was coming out. Ending of this energy, this devil energy, the greed, the addiction, the power hungry. Now, what you find is so many of these, some not. I mean, you've got the Berkeley Hathaway guy. The reason why there's so much hate and also towards, can't even think of his name at the moment, Bill Gates, is because he's not in this energy completely. I mean, he does have some elements, but he's not in that energy. Him and his ex-wife, who still get on apparently, set up polio eradication in Africa. It failed due to some conflict areas where they couldn't get into, but they spent their money in charitable ways. They weren't just being greedy getting it. So Bill Gates was one of those ones that became, if I say an accidental millionaire, he didn't set out to be in this energy with the greed. Whereas you've got the likes of the Musks, the Bezoses, the Crows, the DeVosses and all those sorts of people, they are in this energy. And what you often find in the Trumps, etc., is that they had a very abusive childhoods, and and they often come from money as well. But what they're doing, it's like emotional eating. They're trying to fill the void from their childhood. Instead of filling it from within, they're trying to fill it from without, externally, by, if I say emotionally eating, but with money, with greed, with a desire to dominate and to have money, etc. So it's like emotionally eating, but emotionally greed. Okay, so it's bringing an end to this era. And then we had, look, another major arcana came out, the High Priestess, the hidden agendas being revealed, a significant new start, new plan, new message. The wood dragons, both Harris and Waltz are wood dragons on the stem there. So is apparently Yulia Navalny as well. Significant new beginnings. And then we have Harris. And the last card, is it joy? Is it full illumination? Is it really shining the spotlight on this snake energy, on this evil energy? Wow. And look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcana and 2 court cards. 1 major and 1 that is my Harris card. So, woo-wee. So will enough wake up? I'm going to say yes, because there's just about all yes cards there. And then this is the second lot that I started. So that was from the bottom of the deck. This is the energy here and now. This is the top of the deck. This is the process that we're going to go through. So I'll lay these cards out for you again, just in a storytelling style. Moral, financial, ethical, corruption, but people finding themselves out in the cold. What do you mean that you're going to deport my wife and children? What do you mean that you're going to that you don't support the union workers, that all of a sudden we're going to find ourselves in the slavery market? What do you mean that these tariffs, that the goods that I'm going to import are going to cost more? There's a lot of finding out going on at the moment, and people are finding that they are not in the inner circle. They are not on the inside. Those with the big money are on the inside. You only have to look at the cabinet appointments that Trump is announcing. They're all billionaires. They're not normal people that understand or that have earned the position by being in a particular industry or in a particular path up. They're all pay-for-play positions. So, yeah, what's happening? People are waking up and realizing that they're not in here. They're out here. And it's like, what do you mean? Hang on. You promised us. Sorry. A guy that has been proven to lie, 40,000 times plus? You suddenly think he's going to tell you the truth? Okay, whatever. A new start. Or is this simply, we were played, naivety, foolishness? Feeling it might be the latter, but I also feel it's a combo. There's this new start awakening. But they were played and they were foolish, because there is this significant ending and new beginning coming. A light is being shone that will bring an end to an era and the beginning of a new. And the door is open for them to walk through, because they are now, I'm not talking about all of them, I'm talking about enough. They are now realizing the truth. The truth is being drawn about the swamp secrets. The light is being shone on the lunacy and untruths. The wheel of fortune is turning about the abuse of power, the disregard for human life, the greed, it's all mine, 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 the stealing, the betrayal, it's all coming out. A realization that they don't give a rat's about the people. Emotionally overwhelming. It is being seen and it is really confronting. It's also my fortnight here with this moon cycle going from a full moon to a new moon. Wonder whether something's going to happen within a fortnight. What are we at? The 17th, 18th today? Something like that. Fortnight takes us to early January. Before the 3rd, perhaps. Maybe it is the 3rd. But yeah, eyes are being opened. And it's really emotional. Boy, there's going to be some interesting Christmases this year. There's just this emotional cleansing, emotional overwhelming about the wannabe dictator and a feeling of emotional loss. So I'm going to say those that wake up, see, this is us over here with these 2 cups, and we've got this tree of abundance behind us. They are going to feel emotionally devastated about the Emperor here. Might move these along a bit because I've got 4 cards. Emotionally devastated. They've invested, 8, 9 years in this dude? Going to be incredibly overwhelming when the sword of truth shines a light on the deception and the fact that they were played, as they're finding out that they don't matter. It's not like he hasn't told us what his plans were. Loss, devastation. As it comes to them unexpectedly out of left field, as this unexpected message comes forward, and again it's emotion. There's a harsh truth. It's going to have to be faced about the steel. 2 steel cards here. Harsh truth is going to be brought forward about the freedom of the American election that was stolen. There's an emotional choice that these people are going to have to make. There's going to be one obvious choice, but in this turmoil of clouded judgment, not all of them are going to choose the obvious choice. We've got the fading misogyny and the rise of the feminine here. And then we have my Avril Haines card bringing forward new information in regards to this. So I'm going to grab Pendulum. So those that are new, it's an amethyst that's been with me for 25 odd years, but it came from my drawer, and some wire from the craft shop. Feel free to make your own. I find this one works better. I find the pre-made ones don't work for me. And I'll drop you down so you can see it's not me waggling away. I've got my elbow on the table. I just like to hold it straight. Round and round means they're ready for a question. Will enough US voters wake up in time to change the timeline? And it's into a yes. Straight into a yes. Back and forth is yes, side to side is no. Sometimes it goes on an angle which says it's still in flux, still in play. I'm getting a yes. A big yes. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Secrets of this evil energy. And it feels like it's just going to build and build and build. And I think who said it was like Vesuvius? I can't remember who I was watching the other day. So that it's going to be one massive explosion. I feel more like Mount St Helens, to be all honest. It's going to be a massive explosion, and then there'll be aftershocks as more information comes out. But it feels like it's going to be really, I keep saying things are coming to a head. Okay, touch wood, knock on wood, touch wood, and wood. Let's see how it plays. Love to you all. Take care.